Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and today is Monday, August 4th. With me, I have three lovely co hosts on the mic with me. I have I Chill, my gorgeous moon, and my favorite Taurus. Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Yes, and we have what I believe is some great tea, but I will say, most of us, y'all been wilding over the weekend, honey, and you can tell Mercury is in retrograde because a lot of the tea that we're going to be talking about today is talking about some legal issues or somebody being arrested, but it's a lot of it that we can talk about. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
Let's jump into the tea time.
Yes, let me get the first bit. So our first piece of tea, honey. We like to always when we have a Diddy update. I like to start with that because Diddy is a hot topic these days, honey. And remember the last time we talked, the prosecution actually, pretty much fired at him. Was like, bruh, we did what we did. You got your ass convicted because of the Mann Act, because he tried to pretty much argue saying that the Mann Act doesn't apply to him because he's a warrior, quote unquote. And the prosecutors got back at him. He has now gotten back at the prosecutors. So I have the TMZ story here. Let me share it. Okay, so y'all see where it says here, Diddy fires back at feds in battle over bail. So Sean Diddy Combs is firing back at federal prosecutors who want to keep him locked up at least another 2 months. He says they are hell bent on punishing him for hiring adult male prostitutes and paying them handsomely to bang his girlfriends. In new legal docs obtained by TMZ, Diddy's legal team rips the feds, claiming prosecutors are unfairly targeting him as they have throughout a misplaced investigation. Diddy's camp comes out firing. Impervious to the jury's verdict, the government proceeds as though Combs was not acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy, along with all the racketeering acts with which he was charged and found not guilty. His attorneys continue, hell bent on punishing him for being a user of prostitution services in a more draconian manner than anyone in U.S. history. The government continues to target him unfairly, just as it has done from the inception of this probably misplaced investigation. The filing comes in response to federal prosecutors urging the judge in Diddy's criminal case to deny him bail and keep him in jail until his October 3rd sentencing. As we first reported, Diddy filed a new motion for bail last month, with his legal team arguing he's probably the only man in America behind bars for hiring and transporting male sex workers across state lines to bang his girlfriend. Diddy skated on racketeering and sex trafficking charges in his criminal trial and only got dinged for two lesser prostitution related charges under the Mann Act, but his lawyers say prosecutors are making statements that are at odds with what a jury of his peers found. His defense previously said there's no binding precedent for keeping him in jail before sentencing, but prosecutors came back and said Diddy failed to show the court any evidence to mitigate his crimes, which might justify releasing him on bail. Prosecutors also cited two prior federal cases in which judges denied defendants bail after convictions under the Mann Act. They say both cases are almost carbon copies of Diddy's because the defendants were also facing sex trafficking charges, but were only convicted of Mann Act violations. Diddy's team says his case is an outlier because the prostitutes he hired were adult American men who he and his longtime girlfriends agreed to bring into their relationship. Diddy says the men were paid thousands of dollars for sex and believed they were friends with Diddy, Cassie, and Jane. And get this, Diddy's camp says his ex Gina Hun has written a letter in support of his motion for bond. And we'll talk more about Gina in the next story. But yeah,
Is that
so
the youngest? Well, not the youngest. Yeah, the youngest baby's mama.
it is indeed. Yep.
Okay.
His youngest child mother. What's his daughter name? Love, I believe. I forget. Love Combs or something. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so Diddy is trying his damn. Him and his team is trying his damnness, and I don't want to cause there's no way for me to say this without like sounding like I'm defending Diddy. But I mean, he's right. If the jury convicted said that he was not guilty of the racketeering and stuff like that, but they're still acting like he's which we know he is, but they're still trying to legally act as if he's somebody who has been convicted of that. That is a little like, no, don't do that. You got to be fair. But still,
No,
I still say
I'm the
keep,
same. I'm saying, yeah.
yeah, keep his ass in jail though. But still, like, be fair about it.
Yeah, like they still yeah, they wish they could have punished him, but honestly, he was convicted on lesser. So why are y'all still holding him? Y'all are acting like he got convicted on the racketeering. That's and I mean, granted, he probably don't need to be out, but still, it's if he was a white man, he'd have been out. He'd have been walking around during the whole trial.
hmm There you go. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Just like that old saying, I forgot where I heard it from. Like, no matter how much money you have, how much notoriety you acquired, the courses will always remind you exactly who they think you are. And Tootsie Roll is no exception.
And
That's
I know
right.
exactly that quote. You right.
Mhm.
They like to remind each and every one of us each time.
Mhm.
Especially in that, I don't know if y'all remembered it, probably not, because I don't think y'all. This is the crowd that listens to Waka Flocka Flame like that. Well, back in the day when before we found out he was a whole, you know, swastika supporting, Trump supporting, coonish fuck. But Diddy was in the "Oh Let's Do It" remix, and he said it was a line in there. He's like, I'm richer than them white folks or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So they're gonna remind his ass, look, you're not one of us. Like they over there saying they're not like us, honey. So yeah. Look, let's do it as a choice.
Okay, now, funny enough, I was getting my hair done on Saturday, and my hairdresser and I were talking about that. Um, and she liked Diddy, but she's not, you know, supporting him, but she's like, what's fair is fair. And her conspiracy theory is that um, the people that he's suing, the liquor people, um, I guess Ciroc people he was suing,
hmm
um, she thinks that trying to take deal with them white folks like that got him in the position because she's saying like, you know, you trying to sue us, we made you, we put you up here because, you know, trying to be a billionaire, black folks can't just get in there by themselves. Somebody has to vouch for you to be in these rooms and yada yada yada. And that him suing them probably triggered this, like, oh, we're gonna get you, we're gonna take you down, blah 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 blah. That's kind of where she went with it, and she was saying how, you know, he wasn't convicted of racketeering, so why is he still, you know, in the position that he's in? Because if it would have been anybody else, they would have been off, you know, out chilling.
hmm and I think they were able to cite other cases that pretty much prove that this similar to Diddy. This is a carbon copy of this case. They were able to get out. They were convicted of the Mann Act, but not convicted of the racketeering charges. And I guess they were released on bail. So I mean, fair is fair. I personally don't want that motherfucker out because I believe he's a danger to society and to himself, honey. But hey, fair is fair. If we want to say that this is justice is blind or whatever that saying is, we gotta mean it. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
You know what, and I also am very concerned for the folks who spoke their truth against him as well. Because I firmly believe, like during the trial, it was proven how, I'll say, persuasive he could be when things are operating not in his favor. And
hmm
so it's a shame that the people that decided to bravely speak up against the injustices that not only they face, but others have faced as well, could potentially get repercussions that aren't warranted. You know, so it's very unfortunate, and this is definitely one of the cases where it's like even though this person wasn't convicted or wasn't proven to be convicted, excuse me, of the charges put against him. It's like, yeah, it was it's legal, but was it morally correct? And I firmly believe that it was a no. So there's more than, not to get so esoteric, but there's more than one court that people need to consider when it comes to their actions in this world. So even though it didn't resonate on a plane or a level that we can easily identify, there either has been or could potentially be an additional fallout that may not look necessarily automatically directly correlated with the case. But if you pay close enough attention, it's like, well, Johnny had five apples, and that's what happened. So,
Hmm. Hey, Libra Queen. Did you have something you wanted to add about his ass?
No, I have something else that I'm gonna just wait to see if it come out in here because I'm flabbergasted.
Okay. Well, remember when I mentioned, because this article that we were just reading ended in Gina, and please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing her name, but I don't know if it's pronounced Hun or Hoon. But Gina, she actually wrote a letter to the judge on Diddy's behalf. So I have that story here also with TMZ. Let me get that here. And y'all should see where it says Diddy's ex, Gina Hun, says he's a changed man, and victim number three wants him out on bail. So who, honey? And yes, just like Moon asks, is this his youngest child's mother? Yes, it is. So
Is that
Diddy's ex
why the
girlfriend,
story being interrupted or something? I'm just asking.
honey, look, y'all might be on to something. So Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Gina Hunn, victim number three in the federal indictment, who was a no-show in court after prosecutors subpoenaed her, just went to bat for him in his bid to get out of jail pending sentencing. In new legal talks obtained by TMZ, Gina pens a letter to the judge in Diddy's criminal case supporting Diddy's motion for bail. So here's the letter here. Gina says she's known Diddy for years and that she's mostly seen him as a father, family man, and businessman, not a criminal. She says their relationship had its ups and downs, but says when Diddy made mistakes, he was willing to acknowledge them and make better decisions moving forward. Gina says Diddy became a better person by the time their relationship ended. He embodied an energy of love, patience, and gentleness that was markedly different from his past behavior. Prosecutors and the judge cited Diddy's violent behavior as a reason for keeping him in jail pending his October 3rd sentencing. But Gina says, as far as she knows, and I don't know if that's really far, but okay, but as far as she knows, Diddy has not been violent for many years, and he has been committed to being a father first. Gina tells the judge she doesn't think Diddy poses a danger to her or the community if he gets freed on bail. She says he should be released from jail so he can care for his family and kids who depend on him for emotional and financial support. She also says if Diddy's released, she's confident he will follow all conditions. Mm. Diddy's defense has been going back and forth with prosecutors in a second attempt at getting Diddy released on bail, and the judge has yet to rule. Child.
Him getting sentenced on my birthday really got me feeling some type of way. Who do I talk to?
I don't know because maybe that might be a good sign, Libra Queen, because because the Libras and the balance and the
Y'all need me to
scales.
make a birthday wish because I can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no! Don't you waste your birthday wish on his ass. The universe gonna take care of him. But yeah, so she says that from what she's seen and as far as she knows, that is a father first.
Child, she trying to make sure her payday still continues. Honey, she trying to secure her bag. Please. We already know. He's a great man. Mhm.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
and I kept forgetting to mention this during the trial, but I was very shocked that we didn't hear or see anything from one Kalina Harper, as much noise as she was making earlier this year. She wasn't subpoenaed.
Who is she?
Not important.
From oh, from
So,
Diddy Dirty Money.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was making a whole bunch of noise and speaking out against many of the victims. But when the shit hit the fan, nobody asked her to speak at the trial. She wasn't present at the trial. I'm not sure if she said anything about the trial. I'm not sure if the payment was up or what. But she's been awful quiet.
Well, maybe because she wasn't a part of like the freak offs. I think maybe they concentrated on women who had been through that. Maybe she was maltreated for sure, but not part of that scene. You think?
I I don't think so in particular because we don't know if Dawn was part of the freak offs. we we heard from Dawn that she was SA'd by Tootsie Roll and
Hmm.
mistreated by Tootsie Roll. She
Hmm.
wasn't necessarily a part of those freak offs, and
Okay.
she and Kalina were naturally in the same group, operating in the same spaces with each other, and she was very vocal outside or before the case even started. So I'm not sure
What
if the freak offs were the catalyst for her not speaking. I just find it incredibly interesting how we haven't heard anything from her since.
True.
wasn't she one of the ones who took a deal, a settlement?
No,
Oh,
she
okay.
Oh.
well, she was one of the people that Diddy called back to back. I want to say with no exaggeration, like 70 times. Um, Late last year, when the news with Cassie and that video clip was released to the public from the hotel,
Hmm.
she was one of the people that he called. Well, excuse me, other way around. He called her multiple times, and I guess asked her to speak better on his behalf, and it was a whole thing, and then all of a sudden, nothing. So,
Hmm.
Hmm. Just like this letter that Gina wrote, honey, nothing. The judge gonna look at the honey and toss it right in his shredder. Like, okay, girl. Anyway, because and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a subpoena is like if somebody is subpoenaed and they decide not to show up to court, couldn't like a warrant be issued for their arrest?
Yes.
Uh, okay.
Guess they weren't that pressed about it.
Mm-mm. Go ahead, favorite tourist.
I bet that judge looked up here like, "Who is Katrina Harspoon? Who the fuck is that?"
Uh,
Mm-mm.
well, uh, Diddy is trying everything he can. I'm sure he probably did make a call to Miss Gina and say, girl, do something, write a letter or something on my behalf or something like that.
Well,
So,
I'm shocked that we didn't really hear much from those two baby mamas during the thing. Because Chance's mom, they, I mean, how did they skip the freak? How did they not? I want to know how he picked who was going to be in the freak offs. Like, who was the ones? Because, like, what?
oh, he used the brown paper bag.
Maybe because their children would have been affected by that as a decision as a mother. I mean, the same thing
Mm.
could have happened to them, but since they have kids by him, um, I don't know, speculation.
Yeah, no, no, no. I mean that's a good spitball because I'm just like, well, no one really brought her up, or no one that wasn't talked about because she's been around. She hasn't gone anywhere. She's always in the
And then when
so.
we saw Misa when she was at court, she was on what in a walker. She wasn't subpoenaed or anything, but we just saw
What
because
the
she was
hell was
supporting
she
her
in a
son.
walker for? What was she
Oh,
in a walker for?
maybe because Mary J. Blige trying to take her leg. I don't know.
Oh Lord, don't start. Look, you gonna get Will going. Shit. I don't
Go
need no
ahead,
Mary
favorite
J.
Taurus.
bashing this morning. It's Monday, please.
Well, Mary don't need a leg. That's all I'll say. Hope maybe she
Ooh,
was going after her vocal cords because
you know what? See.
Mary's vocals are fine. She just doesn't use them, as of late.
Well, as of late, how about ever? Anyway,
Well,
Oh, see, that's how you're not a product. You see, he didn't grow up in the '90s. He's a baby. Just don't. Why you disrespecting?
is it disrespect or is it honesty, Miranda? Answer quickly.
It's disrespect.
Okay,
It's
okay.
disrespect.
All right.
well, speaking of disrespect, our president,
Oh
Donald
shit.
Trump, he feels that Diddy has disrespected him during his campaign. So I don't know if Diddy can have him to look forward to for a pardon.
Oh
The
well, too bad so sad.
hello. Well, the president spoke over there this weekend with Newsmax, and I'm sorry, y'all, but it's only a minute, so indulge me for a minute. But it's a minute of
Oh Lord,
Oh
that
no.
man talking.
I feel like I would rather watch the Brandy movie than this minute. Shit.
Can
And
we
Right.
I
just
told y'all I usually don't. I don't. I don't like to discuss hot topics. I mean, not hot topics. I don't like to discuss politics unless it intersects with hot topics. So, baby, this is definitely intersecting with hot topics. So,
I'm turning the
let's see
volume
what he has to
on
say.
there. Nope.
you where's the, can we just watch it on when captions on? We can read.
Mm-mm. We gotta hear it.
Ah,
Sean Diddy Combs,
Right.
would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent. I
Yes.
don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but
Yeah.
he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, uh, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, uh, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you,
Yeah,
sir.
and
Yes.
it's hard, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know. It's more difficult. It makes it more. I'm being honest. It
Yeah.
makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs, it
I
sounds
would
like.
say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, y'all heard they said more likely a no for Combs. He said, I would say so. So, yeah,
you know
don't
what?
look
Fuck
forward to
him.
that.
Well, good. He didn't. I mean, he is on the tear to release pedophiles and shit. But look here, fuck him. Shit, can't stand his
With a
ass.
sick dick, honey. You and me
Oh,
both, honey.
what's the one
Well,
that Kendrick rapped about? One as big as the empire. I don't know. He need one that big. Don't get me started. I'm angry. Never mind. Let me be quiet.
l-
I'm
look, we
going
have
on
a
mute.
comment saying, "Is it done?" I muted my computer. Yes, y'all, it's done. Let me put up the thumbs up emoji. But I mean, matter of fact, no, keep it muted because our next story is actually going to be talking about the president again with
Oh
somebody
God.
else y'all don't really care for, Charlemagne.
Oh yeah, I seen
Going
that.
back on mute.
Now
You know
I know.
what? Go ahead.
And personally, I'm always outvoted when it comes to like the Breakfast Club and stuff. I've always been a fan, like since its very beginning. A lot of people, and I get why people don't like it, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I do like the work that Charlemagne has done. So I really
Sometimes.
really like how he's gotten under the president's skin. That like
Yes,
I
I do
really
like
love.
that.
So
That's probably his best work, and I don't know how long. Sometimes Charlene is right, but he'll ruin that by doing some stupid shit. So I don't really care for him, even though he is a fellow Cancerian, unfortunately. But
okay, and he act just like one. He is a true cancer, honey, down to the crab claws.
except for he's a little bitch though, because me and Solange come from the fuck around and find out crew, and she is my actual birthday twin, and I was like, there we go, twin. I know exactly. Fight, not little
No, that's
scary ass
right.
Charlemagne. He be running. Anyways, I can't stand him, but he was right. He had some points on here that were right.
Yep, and
So,
he's definitely not scared of the president, honey, because he gave him Donkey of the Day on today's show of the Breakfast Club today. And I actually woke up. early to not early because it starts at like 6 a.m. But I would say I was up at around 8 a.m. because I wanted to hear it. I wanted to see because I knew he was going to respond, and I knew he was more than likely going to give President Donkey of the Day, which his famous. For y'all, for those of you that don't watch the Breakfast Club, this is his segment that he gives people who do some wild, stupid shit. He always
We
gives them the
know
Donkey
what
of the
it
Day.
is. We know.
Well, y'all know, but it's quite a few people that don't because Breakfast Club is not everywhere, unfortunately. But y'all see where it says here, Charlemagne to President Trump, donkey of the day for you. Your clapback was full of lies. And to be quite honest, it was actually way more what's the word? I don't want to say eloquent. I hate when people call black people eloquent or whatever, but it was a little bit more toned down than I thought it was going to be because I thought Charlemagne was going to go in, but nope. Because I think he kind of knew this was going to happen, so he had receipts ready for that ass. Anyway, Charlemagne the God and Donald Trump are the headliners of the latest big media battle following his interview with Laura Trump, resulting in the president being slapped with Donkey of the Day on The Breakfast Club. On Monday, Charlemagne kicked off his Daily Roast segment using YG's Fuck Donald Trump campaign buster hit record and accused Trump of deflecting the main issues after the press called the radio host a sleazebag and also a racist. And here's Trump's statement that he put on his Truth Social platform about Charlemagne, dedicated a whole tweet to him, honey.
That name is
Anyway,
so fucking ironic. Truth Social,
wake
baby.
that up.
Ain't no
that
truth
man,
over there.
that man wouldn't know the truth, honey, if it's fell in his pants. So anyway,
Right.
Charlemagne noted he didn't use race one time to lay into the president's big beautiful bill, which he benefits from tax wise, but says he can't turn his back on the millions of Americans who will be left out in the cold. Charlemagne also criticized Homeland Security for detaining and deporting lawfully residing immigrants, and docked Trump for ironically contributing to the unemployment rate by firing label statistics chief Erica Mc, McIntyre for supposedly messing with the U.S. job numbers. Trump took credit for ending 5 wars, including ending conflicts across Congo and Rwanda, a complete falsehood, according to Charlemagne and Lauren LaRosa's fact checking. And when I tell you I love Lauren LaRosa, I'm actually surprised that TMZ mentioned her, after she famously left their asses. But anyway, Charlemagne signed off reminding Trump he's not his enemy and he needs to stay focused on two things: the state of the U.S. economy and the Epstein files. Trump's response is bound to be epic. Hee haw. What the fuck did they? What the fuck is hee haw? Why would y'all even? Anyway.
Oh, that's the donkey.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just lies. Just lies. Just lies. Lies. Go ahead, Will.
Mhm.
Based upon this person's actions since January, what makes people think he gives a solitary fuck about the American people?
Much less the people in the Congo and Rwanda and so forth.
That either, because we all know how this person operates. If it's not in a, it's if there's not any direct benefit to anything he got going on, he don't give a fuck who it is.
Right.
So it's like he needs to be focusing on that. He don't give a fuck about none of that. Especially there's a whole bunch of black people over there, and there's nothing in it for him. Like people got people need to stop giving people who are cons so much fucking credit.
Thank you. Everybody keeps saying, well, he just needs, he is not smart. Do y'all think, what is he going to do? He's not a smart person.
Aside from shit his pants, like what else?
Right.
Please.
Exactly. And I please let him not focus because when he focuses on the government, he breaks stuff. I don't want him do something else. Get on the golf course. I don't know. Continue to cheat over there, please. I'm sick. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Girl, we got too long to go for you to be tired.
Honey,
Okay.
honey, I've been
Okay.
tired since 2016. I am tired. We had that little 4-year break. I needed longer than that. I
Okay.
don't even remember what I raised my hand for originally, but yeah.
Was it had something to do with Charlemagne or?
Uh, I don't remember what point I was gonna make. Don't worry about it. My perimenopause is, fall brain kicking in. Don't worry about me.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
It's like we're living in the episode of Game of Thrones. That's what it feels like. You remember that, what's his name, King Jeffrey? It's like King Jeffrey's in office right now.
I wouldn't even give it that much. I'd say an episode of South Park, honey.
You know, it's crazy.
It's past crazy. We passed that bar a long time ago.
Indeed. Well, speaking of crazy, did y'all want to add anything about this before we go over to talk about somebody else who's
No,
crazy and who
no,
we wish would
no,
take us out the group chat?
no, thank you.
Man,
Well,
so many
honey,
people need to take us out the group chat. Whew.
listen, I told y'all this Mercury is retrograding, just like we will say it in the chat, honey. It needs Mercury needs its ass beat for real. Well, Nicki Minaj. Speaking of crazy,
Oh
now
Jesus!
I don't know if y'all saw, but she done got into it with Dez Bryant now.
What? This be, excuse my language. She needs medical attention. Somebody need to help her. This is crying out for help. She's something wrong.
The powder, you know, allegedly.
Oh, well, y'all see, I have this all hip hop article. Nicki Minaj escalates Jay Z and Rock Nation grudge in explosive Dez Bryant clash. So, Nicki Minaj turned her ongoing grudge against Jay Z and Rock Nation into a full blown online brawl with Dez Bryant after the former NFL star was referenced in a recent comment by Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Jones brought up Bryant's 2015 contract talks, negotiated by Rock Nation, as an example of why he prefers dealing directly with players instead of agents. That mention triggered Bryant, who warned on social media, Jerry Jones, I don't think it's smart to mention my name. We can have story time if that's what we're doing. Minaj, already locked in a public battle with Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez, jumped into the mix. How about we play a game? Every time you do a Jerry Jones or NFL story time, I'll do a story time of my own, she replied to Brian, using the Saw gift.
Mm.
Anyway, Bryant responded with the gift that read, I want to play a game. Minaj fired back. All my stories will be about Rock Nation, Jay Z, and the alleged racist Desiree Perez, Rock Nation CEO. I hope you fully understand the rules. Now it's your turn. Trying to de escalate, Brian posted a video saying, Leave me out of it. I don't want no problems. I'm a huge fan. And this is the video he posted. It's about 9 seconds. We really don't need to watch that because that's pretty much what he said in the video. Anyway, but Minaj wasn't backing off. She posted a screenshot from 2020 showing her barbs going after Brian over past comments about her. I guess you're one of the guinea pigs they've been using to bully people for them, she wrote. Blind replied, Go enjoy your day. Minaj kept going, resurfacing an old report about Brian's 2012 arrest for allegedly assaulting his mother. She told him, I'm sorry, y'all, this was hilarious. She said, It's Mrs. Petty. This just came across my desk from 2020. I guess you're one of the guinea pigs they've been using to bully people for them. Did you think I came over here to play sweetsies with your silly ass, sir? See, the problem with people who are always playing is that they think everyone else is playing too. I mind my business if I were you. Be blessed. And then she posted that.
Wait, didn't she get in his business?
She jumped in. She jumped in his business. Okay, I'm just
I
y'all.
was like, wait, that didn't make no goddamn sense. Fuck that. Man, that bitch crazy. She crazy. And if I was Des Perez, whatever, Desiree Perez, me and her would come, I would see her in person. Come on,
Ooh,
because you know what? We in the same industry. I know where you at. You can be touched. I'm not a fan. I'm not a stan. I don't know where you at. No, I know where you at. Let's have a conversation.
well, it's funny that you mentioned Desiree's name because Nicki Minaj continued. She told Des Bryant, "Go beat your mom and then ask Desiree Perez and Jay Z why they allegedly been the vile cunts they've been to so many black people while lining their own pockets and weaponizing racism in order to keep black people blinded from their truth. Why wasn't Desiree Perez's pardon by President Trump publicized to the black community and hip hop culture the way Lil Wayne's was? Did she repay the president for that monumental blessing, or did she betray him the way Jay Z allegedly betrayed the Democratic Party and countless others that he's had business dealings with in the past? On second thought, don't beat your mom. I'm sure she loves you once. This tweet is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. Anyway, Barb's next. Bryant clapped back and brought up Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, who was a registered sex offender. Say, bitch, I didn't go to jail or touch my mama, he replied. I was defending myself. I removed her nails from my skin. Folks know I was dealing with some corrupt shit in Dallas. He added, I don't get how you can even be on the internet with your husband being a sex offender. You said you were speaking facts, weird hoe, so come on. And that's what he posted. Minaj responded, I'm so happy you brought this up. I'll give you 10 million in cash if you come and fight him since you beat your own mom. She claimed Petty was lied on 31 years ago while both of them were 16, and there's proof. She also continued dragging Jay Z and Desiree Perez. Minaj returned with screenshots dragged up by the barbs, claiming Brian's father committed statutory rape. Is this true, you pussy ass nigga? She asked. Projection like always. We didn't make your dad rape your mom, just like we didn't make you beat her. Child.
Mm.
Bryant replied, I've been lied on my whole career, so I'm not trying to hear all of that shit. I thought we were speaking facts. I don't play all of that funny shit. Go get that 10 million in cash. I'll stump that nigga out right in front of you. And it's rock for life, bitch.
Why she putting the Bo Petty up in? She, see how women get their boyfriends and husbands in trouble.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god! Like, why you put my name in it, baby? Oh
Nah, that was a y'all, I don't know, but y'all gotta admit that was very entertaining, honey. I'm sorry. That was
no, we don't have to admit nothing. This is terrible.
Who I think favorite toys you had your hand up first?
I was gonna say, who you think you are, Rosie Perez? You ain't no Paula Abdul. Your sex anyway. You know, Nikki might be to many might be three cherries short of a fruitcake. However, a broken analog clock is correct twice a day, and so even though how she may be going about it is a little erratic, or more erratic than we usually see her operate, many times there is some validity behind what it is that she's saying about topics. So I'm not too quick to pass judgment. Uh, if there are implications that would prove her statements to be accurate, in the words of the iconic Monique, I would like to see it. However, I don't believe that Nikki would be putting herself, someone of her stature, her caliber, just everything, what she means to just culture in general. I I firmly don't believe that she would be putting this out there to harm herself or to tarnish her own image. So it's just everyone else making her out to be crazy. But if and when things actually come out to prove there is some validity, it's given Jaguar right again. If things come out that what she was saying wasn't all the way inaccurate, then what will people say? You know.
Hmm. Great point. Go ahead, gorgeous.
Just a friendly counter what Favorite Taurus said. If she had true validity that she was um, shorted some type of money or funds or payment, then baby, why didn't you take this to court? Why are we in the group chat? Why are you acting a plum fool on the internet day in and day out? Now, if there's some validity that Jay Z Rock Nation shorted you some funds, then at your level, at your caliber, you should have your lawyer go into the courthouse and file a lawsuit. And we could watch it play out from there. But all of this acting like, you know, you're not supposed to be one of the queens of hip hop. You out here a scuttlebutton down in the gutters. Like, girl, bye. Please, I'm tired.
I haven't heard the word scuttlebutt in a long time, girl. Thank you for bringing that back. Go ahead, favorite Suarez.
You know, Miranda, but to your point, I definitely think it's intentional because if the other parties sue her, they have to prove that what she's saying is false. And if that litigation is brought up, that may uncover other things as well that they don't want people to know about. So from that angle, I could definitely see her playing it smart because, oh, you want to sue me? Then you have to prove it. And then other stuff's going to come out. And it's not going to be designated exclusively to what we're arguing about. Everything else is going to come out as well. So,
Yeah, I. You know what? She should have just sued them. And if they counter sue her, then yes, all of it, the chips should fall where they may. But to be on the internet every day, acting a fool, dragging other people into it that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and just causing chaos, it's crazy. Girl, take care of your child. Where your child at? Do
well,
do you need some food, a snack, something?
well, well, that we know of, Miranda.
Ooh,
We, we don't know. There might be a reason she's bringing these people up. I'm just looking at it from all angles here. You
you're
know,
kind.
like it makes sense from a certain perspective as to why she's acting or maneuvering the way that she's maneuvering, even though it doesn't appear to be in the I don't like to use the word taste, but in the most kosher way possible. Like there's she's too smart of a lyricist to be doing all this for nothing.
Well, sometimes smart people be stupid, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
I am screaming. Go ahead, Chili.
My point would be if she does have grounds to be saying these things, because you notice they're paying her dust. They're not threatening to sue her or anything like that. They're paying her dust. She's out here just windmilling with the wind, just fighting the breeze. So if she does have something, I'm with why doesn't she take it to court if she does have something to say or grounds for what she's saying? Because just out here, just keep saying their names, it's not going to get her anywhere. They're not going to open up that can of worms. So if she has a valid point, send your lawyers to court or shut the fuck up.
Jay-Z don't be on social media. He ain't saying nothing.
No.
Jay-Z is not gonna say nothing, not near time, ever.
We are tired.
Oh, hold on. Corey, what you got going on, girl? Who's
We are.
scratching?
I don't know. Can y'all hear me? We are tired. Take us out the group chat, Jesus. The powder is powdering. Okay, the powder. Stay off the powder and stay off the internet. And you writing checks your husband can't cash. That's crazy. You're gonna
Go
end up
pay
with no husband
$10 million.
and broke.
Hmm. Well, speaking of taking things to court, well, did y'all want to add anything about this before we go to the next story? Well, because this is kind of adjacent to
No,
this next story.
no. Oh, Will got something. Hold on.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
You know, when she don't own her masters,
Oh,
so that might be something as well.
oh. Somebody need to say that. You don't own your masters, though. Guess who own their masters? Megan.
Al.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that tidbit, Will, because that makes it even better. Let me. Des need to say that. Des Bryant. He need to say that to her too. Girl, let me go buy your masters for you.
Ooh. Well, honey, speaking of people going to court and trying to clear their name, so remember we actually talked about him on Friday's show, that doctor, Dr. Daniel Bober, the one who was accused of signing off on that paperwork to
Oh yeah, to commit
uh
Demarie.
yep. So I have this all hip hop, and they have this exclusive story. Doctor at the center of war between Rock Nation CEO daughter fights to save his rep. So Dr. Daniel Bober is seeking to toss out a lawsuit filed by Demore Hadley, daughter of Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez, after he authorized her involuntary psychiatric evaluation in Florida under the Baker and Marchman Acts. In a motion filed in court, Bober asked for all claims against him to be dismissed with prejudice, arguing the allegations are legally hollow and based on speculation. The psychiatrist was contacted by Perez, who feared her daughter might harm herself. Bober then spoke with multiple individuals who described Hadley's behavior as erratic and concerning. Based on those accounts, Bober initiated an involuntary psychiatric evaluation under Florida's Baker Act, which permits authorities to detain individuals who may pose a danger to themselves or others. The complaint also alleges Bober was financially influenced by Perez. Bober's legal team pushed back, stating the claims lacked factual support and failed to meet the legal standards required under Florida law. The complaint is speculative and conclusory. The motion reads, arguing that Hadley failed to follow the necessary pre-suit procedures for a medical negligence claim. The motion also argues that Bober is not a government actor and therefore cannot be sued under federal civil rights law. It says he acted in good faith under a state statute, which could qualify him for immunity. On the Marshman Act claim, which deals with substance abuse treatment, Boba's attorney says he played no role in filing any petition and is protected by law from liability. As the emotional distress claim, the motion says the accusations are too vague and the alleged conduct doesn't meet legal standard for outrageous behavior. Bober is also asking the court to strike several statements from the lawsuit, including claims that he was paid by Perez, that he is a rogue doctor, and that he should lose his medical license. His team says those are scandalous, irrelevant, and unsupported. The motion further seeks to eliminate Hadley's request for attorney fees, arguing there is no legal basis for them under the claims presented. The court has yet to file on the motion. So, I don't know about y'all, but so the response from his legal team, that I was like, really? That's what you're saying? It has her. You're not saying that this is not true. You're not saying that my Dr. Bobo would never compromise his integrity as a doctor to sign up on paperwork da 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 da. He's saying that she has no legal basis to sue him or to add him in there. A- am I tripping or am I making something out of nothing or am I? Because
I think you're making a cake out of a cupcake.
I love cupcakes.
Right. What's with that?
So I don't know. You might be right. I might be trying to make a cake out of a cupcake, honey. But oh yes, real velvet cupcakes. But
I mean, he's
uh,
saying he did his job. He's saying that he didn't do anything wrong, and that saying that he committed her just based on his mother giving him money is kind of what she's saying is not true. That he did his due diligence. He talked to other people and who confirmed that her behavior was erratic and she needed, some rehabilitation and psychiatric help, and he did that. So I'm not sure how you're seeing, anything else there, but
yeah, maybe, yeah. You're right. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, he's speaking legalese.
Yeah, yeah. This is it is crazy because we literally just talked about him. Like, why wasn't he? And I was like, I remember saying that. I thought he was in that. So it turns out he actually was named in that lawsuit because I remember. I can't remember exactly where I saw it, but I remember seeing that. And now he's trying to fight for his reputation. So hey, go ahead, doctor, fight for your rep, baby.
We'll see what the
Uh,
courts say. If there's some basis for the suit, it'll go on, and then it'll get spicy. But up until then, if it gets dismissed, then there's much ado about nothing.
mm-hmm. Child, I will say, honey, I don't know if anybody has ever had to deal with a psychiatrist. Oh my God, they are the worst, honey. Oh my God. That's all I'm gonna say because allegedly, because I don't want none coming back trying to sue me, honey. I ain't got no money. Well, does anybody want to add anything about them before we go to the next story? About another messy legal battle? I told y'all, honey, we just talking about a lot of legal news today. Well, this legal news comes at death row. Death row and Harry O's wife, or ex-wife rather. So I have another all hip hop exclusive. Y'all see where it says here, battle over Snoop Dogg's death row intensifies. Harry O's ex-wife tries to shut down label. So Lydia Harris is taking her decades-long fight over death row records to federal court, asking a judge to block Snoop Dogg from using the label's name and assets without settling a $107 million judgment she won nearly 20 years ago. Harris, the ex-wife of Harry O. Harris, filed a motion demanding that Snoop's company, Death Row Records LLC, be held financially responsible for the unpaid 2005 award. The judgment issued by a California state court found that Death Row Records Inc. and former CEO Suge Knight committed fraud and malicious misconduct. The ruling included $60 million in punitive damages. Snoop acquired Death Row's assets in a 2022 bankruptcy sale and relaunched the label under a new LLC. Harris claims the deal was made without her knowledge or approval, violating her legal right and enriching Snoop's company at her expense. She is asking the court to impose a constructive trust on the brand and apply successor liability to the new entity. The legal battle goes all the way back to the early days of Death Row. In 1989, Harry O allegedly invested 1.5 million to help launch the label in exchange for a 50% stake. When the company exploded in the 1990s, Harris filed a suit in 2002 on his behalf while he was incarcerated. The lawsuit led to the massive 2005 judgment, but the Harrises never received a dime. Ownership of Death Row changed hands several times before Snoop acquired the brand. Harris now accuses the current ownership of using bankruptcy and corporate maneuvering to dodge the court's order. Her latest motion also includes civil RICO allegations claiming wire fraud and bankruptcy manipulation were used to avoid payment. She's now seeking a declaratory and injunctive relief to stop any further use of Death Row's name until the judgment is resolved. Adding another layer to the conflict, Harry O was granted clemency by President Donald Trump in 2021 after serving over 30 years in prison. Is now working as the chief operating officer of Snoop's version of Death Row. That's interesting.
Mm.
Snoop's legal team has pushed back, arguing the case is too old and accusing Harris of bad faith litigation and harassment. The federal court has not yet ruled on Harris's motion.
So the husband working for him and the wife is
You,
okay.
you see how that's why they be saying straight men are the weakest links, honey.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? Go ahead, gorgeous.
Okay, so one clarification: she's the ex-wife, so I'm sure she don't care. And two, why wasn't she paid through the bankruptcy? When you file for bankruptcy and you're granted, it pays off your, like, whoever buys it usually pays off your debt.
Some of
All
them.
of your, yeah, some of them. So why wasn't that part of that for her? And then also, as much as I don't fuck with Snoop no more because of his actions to get this man clemency, um, I don't understand why I understand why she's trying to go after, because she could see it being profitable and getting her money. But honestly, I don't think she should be going after Snoop because he's probably like the fifth or sixth owner. And when he finally got it, and she should have gotten whatever she needed out of the bankruptcy. But but look, she did like I said Nicki Minaj should do. She filed a suit and she thought she was owed some money. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question, and I think that's what she's trying to allege, if I'm not mistaken, because it looks like she said that he was able to acquire that, but because of not paying her, pretty much stifling. Well, I think her claim was like she wasn't notified or told about this acquisition or something like that. But I think that's what she's trying to say, that they trying to use the bankruptcy because she was supposed to have been paid, but she wasn't, and they trying to use the bankruptcy to maneuver a corporate maneuvering to not pay her.
Yeah,
That's what.
that's still an outstanding creditor that has a debt from this company that wasn't paid. Yeah,
Mhm.
that debt follows them, I suppose. Is what this seems like the suit is saying. The next person acquires the debt as well, which
Lydia
I
said,
don't
I don't
know.
give a fuck who it is. Y'all better give me my motherfucking money. And until you do, don't use Death Row's name on anything.
And I don't care if my husband is working for you, my ex. Give me my money.
Hello. Well, does anybody want to add anything about this before we go to the next story? All right, y'all. Well, the next story, did y'all hear about Shakira Richardson getting arrested for domestic violence over the weekend?
I did. Oh God, I did. Oh, that was so sad.
Well, her boyfriend Christian Coleman has actually responded to everything. And y'all see where it said, well, first of all, I just have to say, I don't know about y'all, but I was told that Shakira Richardson was lesbian. So apparently she's bisexual, but I was told she was gay. So when I first saw this story and I looked at it, I said, a man? Wait a minute. But that's not, hey, if you like it, I love it, girl.
She a bisexual.
Oh, she bisexual. Okay. That's cute for her. Well, anyway, what's not cute for her is being arrested. And then, and what Christian says, well, y'all pretty much gonna see in the response, but he pretty much saying like, her being arrested was bullshit, and he doesn't believe that she should have been arrested. So Shakira Richardson's boyfriend, Christian Coleman, breaks silence after her domestic violence arrest. And I have this vibe story here. Christian Coleman is standing by his girlfriend, Shakira Richardson, after she was arrested for an alleged domestic violence incident at Seattle Tacoma International Airport. There, the track star was taken into custody with Coleman listed as the victim in the incident, USA Today Sports reported. Reportedly, the case has since been cleared, and we're going to see him talk about it. It's about a 2.5 minute video.
Personally, I feel like it was just a sucky situation all around. Like, I don't feel as if like she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she have like things that she needs to work on for herself, of course. So do I, so do you, like everybody. And I'm the type of guy like I'm in the business of just like extending grace and mercy and love. And I feel as if like I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like I just look at like situations like this to just like take a step back, analyze yourself mentally, and then just try to see what you can do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and a human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so that's kind of how I look at the situation. And I hate the narrative too of just like, what I'm saying, it's so negative. But like I said, it's just like in the state of Seattle, even talking to the cop or whatever, he was just like, it really was nothing I could do. And just like, I understood. But I mean, like I said, it was just a sucky situation, but she's a human being and a great person. And I feel like, what I'm saying, like we've been able to be like really good teammates like all year. And I hate that narrative too because, us coming together, like we're just two like real dominant personalities. And she's, to me, best female athlete in the world. Like I see it every day. And like, for me in my process, like I just said, like moving training groups, a whole new environment, a whole new, training setup, different than what I've been in the past, like, 10 years of my, track and field career, and transitioning and then still coming back running 9.8 and feeling like I got so much more to give. Like that's my path, that's my journey, and like being so up close and personal with her every day. And like I watched this girl like fall on the track like in February and walk it off like it was, like a cramp, but get back up and have to take like a month and a half of just like rehab and trying to come back. And then 3 weeks later, like have a competition and like, like she just has a lot of things going on and like a lot of emotions and forces going on inside of her that like not only I can understand, but nobody can, because she's one on one and I'm one on one too. And so I know everything is happening in God's plan because obviously He's one the one, and so that's really the main focus and the thing that I just wanted to say. And I know that like it's been a tough journey for her this year, but she gonna bounce back. And like I said, I see it every day. She's the best female athlete in the world, and she gonna be just fine. She gonna be good, and I'm gonna be good too. So it is what it is.
So you know what? We have a comment. He said state of Seattle. Yes, he did say state of Seattle, but we gonna let that rock. Only because I love, love, love how he did not say anything negative about her, and he kept bigging her up like she's one of one. I watched this girl fall on the track and get right back up. She's just going through a lot. I don't like how they treated her, but there was nothing I could do. I tried to talk to the police, but there was nothing I could do. So I like how you say, but what I have to say, baby, you need to go see a dermatologist and fast. He had more blackheads on the side of his face than a BET Awards. That
Damn, did you take it
crazy.
down? Did you take the video down already?
No, it's still there. Well, it
I
should still
can't
be
see
there.
it. I can't see it. Hold on, I'll be back because I want to know you talk about.
He always his face. Well, anyway, um, it goes on to say the ordeal didn't seem to affect Coleman's performance at the U.S. Track and Field Championships, where he completed in both the 100-meter and 200-meter races. And Moon, are you back? Can you see? I don't know if you can see from
Oh yes, I
here.
can see it now. Yes. No, I can't really tell.
You can't
That's
see all them black
unfortunate.
girl.
I'm not on my computer. That's probably why.
Okay, I was gonna say because I see two on the lip right here. The side of the
Oh,
face, her look like a whole field. Child, let me get off
like
his boy
somebody
face.
needed to go see a, a dermatologist.
Or go see one of your aunties who like to do the pimple popping. We
I
all
am
got that
that
auntie in our
auntie.
family.
I
Yeah,
am that auntie. I am that
thank,
auntie.
I have to say thank you for your contributions. I love you for that.
My son won't let me pop his pimples. He's so annoying.
Project manager, let her dig in your face.
He's a hater.
Well, it says he finished fifth place with a 9.86 in the 100-meter and ran a 20.2 in the 200-meter, finishing sixth. He unfortunately missed the mark to complete compete for next month's World Championship. Excuse me. The incident, originally reported by Let's Run, resulted in Richardson spending nearly 19 hours in custody at the SCORE South Correctional Entity. According to the outlet, the situation unfolded at the TSA security checkpoint where Richardson allegedly got into a heated dispute with Coleman. He identified Richardson to police as his girlfriend of 2 years, though their relationship wasn't made public until this past February. The arresting officer noted witnessing Richardson shove Coleman multiple times as he tried to walk away, an altercation that was also captured on surveillance footage. Based on that, authorities determined there was enough probable cause to arrest Richardson for fourth degree domestic violence assault. Coleman reportedly declined to press charges and told officers he did not want to be considered a victim. Despite the incident, both Richardson and Coleman competed in Thursday's preliminary races. Richardson clocked 11.7 seconds in the first round of the women's 100-meter dash, while Coleman ran 10.8 in his heat. Both sprinters advanced to the finals later that evening. She has not spoken about the domestic violence dispute as a publication. So yeah, sounds like a result of over policing,
It
and they
is.
saw her keep pushing him, and they said they used that, push because he was walking away and she pushed him. They used that as probable cause to arrest her for fourth degree domestic violence assault.
And that stuff can mess with her bag. Her
Hmm.
sponsors and stuff. I hate. Ugh. Yeah.
And the
She
comment
needs to stop
says her
pushing.
face, his face looks like a potato.
Oh,
Exactly.
let me Google his face. Hold on. What's his name again? Christian Coleman. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't want nothing back, but she needs to keep her hands to herself. I get a little anger management together.
Especially when
Um,
cameras around. I mean, he didn't
mm-hmm.
press charges. They told him it wasn't up to him. They had on video doing it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it never is. So most of the time, they'll go ahead, just like they did with Megan. They will do it. The state will do it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I hope they don't mess with none of her money.
Well, does anybody want to talk about Shakira Richardson's money or her boyfriend's potato face before we go to the next story?
No,
Oh,
Bing is terrible. A terrible search engine. Uh, just to
and,
throw
and,
that
and
out
it
there.
used to not be that way. Being used to be that girl, honey. But honey, I don't know what.
It's
Maybe they saw Google was getting too much attention and tried to be just like them. I don't know. But Bing used to be that girl. I believe my favorite Taurus disagrees. Oh, and Capricorn, my
oh.
favorite Capricorn. Both they throw more tomatoes at me, honey, than a damn ketchup factory. Damn. Let me shut up about Bing. Oh, Axe G's. Oh my God. Look, we showing our age with that one, honey. Look, honey, if you know if you know how who to ask G's for anything, honey, it's time for what's a colonoscopy.
Shut up! I already had my colonoscopy.
Not yet. Not too much on me.
Dang, why you be telling all my business? Damn.
Look, girl, I'm telling my business too. Shoot. Well, speaking of business, I don't know any NFL business. Y'all probably know this man more than I do. But is anybody familiar with Denzel Perryman, who plays for the Los Angeles Rangers, I believe?
Ranger, is that
The
baseball?
Raiders, that's probably either that's a B team or
Is that or that sound like
baseball
baseball?
team. Yeah, must be baseball.
Rangers. That's a baseball team. What's the person's name?
Denzel Perryman.
Y'all, I am so sorry. My stupid ass. Remember when I said I clicked on one of my tabs by accident and kicked me out of here? That's exactly what just happened again. I need to get better with that. I am truly sorry. But I was asking y'all. I think the last thing I heard when y'all asking was the team I was talking about. Was it baseball?
I think it's a
Um,
baseball team.
oh,
Oh, they're the Chargers. He's on the Chargers.
what
Oh,
I say?
You said
You said the
Rangers.
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 Jesus.
That's why y'all should never listen to me about anything sports bar related. Well, anyway,
What is that?
this man from who's not on the Rangers, he's on the Chargers. He was actually arrested over the weekend. And y'all see where it says here, Denzel Perryman, NFL linebacker, arrested for possession of an assault weapon. So, Denzel Perryman, a linebacker for Los Angeles Chargers, was arrested on Friday in Los Angeles. TMZ has learned. According to law enforcement sources, the NFL player was picked up by the South Los Angeles Sheriff Station officers Friday evening and booked on a felony charge of possessing an assault weapon. We're told he was en route to the gun range when cops searched his car and found that he had two AR rifles and three handguns in his trunk, with the rifles being non compliant, which is illegal in California. He's still in jail as of Saturday morning and is due in court on Tuesday. This is Denzel's first felony charge. Fans may remember he got in trouble with the rules of the NFL back in 2023 and was suspended without pay for 3 games for repeatedly violating player safety rules. He was with the Houston Texans at that time. Denzel was first drafted by San Diego in 2015, which later became the LA Chargers. He played for the team for 6 years before being signed by the by the Carolina Panthers. Excuse me. However, he was traded to the Las Vegas Raiders for a few months later and then signed by the Texans in 2023. He made his way back to the Chargers in 2024. TMZ has reached out to his team for comments. So far, no word back until now because they actually do have an update. And it says the update says Daniel Perriman's tell TMZ his team is still gathering facts and will fully cooperate with the process following his arrest on Friday. He adds Denzel is a respected veteran in the NFL and a dedicated father, teammate, and professional. While we do not take the situation lightly, we remain confident that the matter will be resolved fairly and in accordance with the law. So he was on the way to the gun range, honey, had two AR-15s in the trunk along with three handguns. And okay. That sound like they was on their way to rob a bank, honey, if you ask me, but okay. Go ahead, Libra Queen.
Though I don't care about this story, womp womp womp. But I'm gonna need for these motherfuckers to be smarter. And you know, it's for some of them the range, they don't have the range, but I'm gonna need them to pay somebody to have the range for them. Because why don't you know, as a someone who is trying to use their Second Amendment, why do you not know the gun laws in the state that you are living working in, sir? BFFR. Like, and you're a black man. You're a black man, and you like be glad that that's all you got was arrested. That you are alive and arrested and not shot up and in somebody morgue.
And why you getting stopped? What were you doing for them to stop you and then
Hell,
search your car? And you got all that in there. Why would you?
hello, and you not know like, sir, you have you are a veteran in the NFL, as they say. You have all the capability of making sure that you have transportation that is fit for yourself and your firearms so that you are not put in a situation where you need to be stopped by anyone, especially as a black man in any state in the union. But I digress.
You're absolutely right. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I mean, to your point, Cohen, we see it all too often, like especially with these black athletes. They believe that since they have acquired a certain level of visibility or they're in the league, quote unquote, now, like the rules don't apply to them, you know, and there's not adequate, there never was adequate guidance behind them to begin with, because, of course, in whatever high school, college, they were seen as the star. They could do no wrong. And all of a sudden they get hoisted into the spotlight, and it's even that sentiment is exacerbated even further because of who they now quote unquote are within the realm of whatever sport that they play. So it's too it's happening entirely too often. And that is the one thing that I've kind of resulted to, because it doesn't make sense as to why many of these athletes are so oblivious to the laws because they are who they are now, you know. And that shit don't last forever, especially in the NFL. I think their shelf life is maybe 5 years if they don't get injured. So they're either way, they're in for a very rude awakening. So
You're absolutely right. And it's funny, apply that same thing with both NFL players and any other sports ball players and also rappers too, because now we got another story about Soldier Boy's stupid ass. And we actually just talked about him not too long ago, right?
Do we have
Um
to? Do we have to
we
talk
have
about it?
we have to, girl, because his stupid ass got arrested for
He's a little
something
cockroach.
similar.
Little cockroach.
Hmm. So y'all see where it says here, Soldier Boy busted in LA traffic stops. Cops say they found a what? A gun. So Soldier Boy was arrested after police say they found a firearm during a traffic stop, TMZ has confirmed. Law enforcement sources tell us the rapper was a passenger in a vehicle that was pulled over around 2:30 a.m. Sunday in Los Angeles. During the stop, officers spotted a firearm in the car, and Soldier Boy was taken into custody and booked on suspicion of being a felon in possession of a firearm. It's currently unclear what prompted the traffic stop in the first place, and details about the firearm or whether anyone else was involved remain unclear as well. We got Soldier Boy on the TMZ Celebrity Tour Saturday outside of his store on Melrose Avenue, where he hopped on the bus and talked to fans. Soldier Boy posted videos on Instagram Saturday night from his birthday party at a Los Angeles nightclub, Poppy. What did I say? NBC LA first reported the rapper's arrest. We've reached out to his reps for comment. So far, no word back. So you walking around with a gun, and your ass just got convicted of sexual assault, and now you walking around with a gun, and you a felon. Like I, I don't have words. I really don't. Child. That's that on that. Does anybody have anything they want to add on Soldier Boy Chapel? We go to the next story. Don't all speak at once. Well, anyway, do y'all remember we talked not too long ago? I think it was back in April, if I remember correctly. That we talked about Lil Uzi Vert being sued by a man who said that he was attacked by him and his entourage for taking a picture of his car. Do y'all remember that or vaguely remember
I
that?
do. I do
Yeah.
remember it. Yep.
Okay, so we actually have more information about that. So I have this all hip hop link, and it's an exclusive. Lil Uzi allegedly beat the crap out of man in broad daylight who now fears for his life. So Lil Uzi Vert allegedly orchestrated a brutal street attack in Manhattan last spring and left a man injured and terrified, according to a civil lawsuit filed in New York. The complaint, submitted by Von Trotman, accuses the hip hop star of initiating a violent assault after Trotman snapped a photo of Lil Uzi's car on Broadway near 27th Street on April 17th of 2024. Trotman claims Lil Uzi yelled a racial slur and directed his security to target him, shouting, "Get that man in the blue," referencing the jacket Trotman wore that day. Lil Uzi then emerged from his vehicle and descended upon Vaughn as well, while Vaughn was being choked, kicked, and punched, said Trotman's attorney, Jack Berry Esquire. The lawsuit alleges Woods personally joined in the attack, hurling insults while his team physically assaulted Trotman. The incident, according to the filing, escalated quickly and left the plaintiff with lasting physical damage. Trotman says the beatdown caused serious injuries to his neck, back, and right shoulder, which later required surgery. He also alleges emotional trauma and lost income due to his inability to work after the incident. And here's a little clip. So you don't see any of the fight. You can actually hear a little bit towards the end, but you see Lil Uzi rolling down his window and was like, "I broke your phone. I broke your phone." Well, here and threw money at him. Y'all will see it. Hold on.
Little Uzi Vert.
Yeah, I like these niggas.
Hey, yo, just stay focused and have a good day, bro. Little Uzi Vert. Hey, you saw I broke your phone? Yeah, bro. Take that, nigga. Take that. Bro, hold on.
So y'all saw what I was talking about. Like towards the end, you see him like I guess maybe he was trying to reach for the money, but his team ended up attacking him, and you heard it anyway. Following the alleged assault, Lil Uzi reportedly acknowledged damaging Trotman's phone and then tossed money into the crowd. Lil Uzi unrolled his window, acknowledged that he broke Vaughn's phone, and then, to add insult to literal injury, threw a handful of $100 bills into the crowd while calling Vaughn an expletive. Lil Uzi drove away from the scene of the attack, Barry said. The lawsuit names Woods, his company, Uzi Vert LLC, and several unidentified members of his entourage. It accuses them of assault, battery, and negligence. Trotman's legal team says their client now lives in fear and wants accountability through the court system. Lil Uzi and his representatives have not issued a public response to the allegations. Mm-mm. He probably gonna settle this shit out of court and get that man some money and go on about his business, child. That's then who knows. Anyway, that's that on that. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I think it's absolutely insane with these rappers, public figures that are 4'11" with these bodyguards just acting a plumb fool and thinking they can get away with it, hide in these big ass bulletproof vehicles and talking a whole bunch of shit, knowing they're not about that life. He reminds me of what's his name? Um, shit, Talkie Six,
Oh,
Takashi.
6ix9ine.
Takashi.
There it
Takashi.
is. There it is. I got it. I got there eventually. He reminds me of Takashi 6ix9ine in that regard. Like these little ass people with big entourages, with big egos, in no sense. It's crazy.
Is little Uzi Vert still dating them?
I believe they still go by they them, use they them pronouns.
I don't
I,
care. I don't care.
oh,
Ooh,
because to be honest, you do try to respect people pronouns and stuff like that, but I don't know. You can't sit with us, honey. I don't know about it. Especially with your past violence, against women and stuff. I don't know. So, I don't know if you could sit with us. Yeah, I respect your right to be, want to use they them pronouns, but you can't sit with us. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Isn't violence against women kind of like the trademark behavior of someone that's DL?
That has been said. I've seen it with my own eyes. So I mean,
I'm just making a correlation. I'm not defining anybody. I'm just from what we've seen, like the alleged violence against women or being hyper violent towards women in some regard is very it's a pattern of behavior from certain demographics of folks who haven't essentially accepted themselves and who they're attracted to.
hmm yep. Like I said, I seen it with my own eyes. So hey, there could be something there. We say maybe somebody need to do a study on it.
Kind of
Well,
like
I
the
got
crooked eyes.
exactly like that. Well, I have two more stories left. Did anybody want to add anything on they them before we go to the next one?
now I'm just hoping that one of these stories is the one I'm looking for.
I don't know. Maybe not. Let's see. Well, this one, we're going to talk about Eve. Now, Eve, she actually sets a record straight about her husband. Y'all see where it says here from billionaire status. So we pretty much don't have to read what it's because there's just about a minute clip in here. We can just watch this and see what because she said there's been some kind of a misconception that her husband is a billionaire. And she says, boy, are we wrong. She's comfortable, but he's not a billionaire.
Yes, in a way that yes, because I worked on myself. So it's not just soft life because of the man I'm with, because some people have this idea of what my life is because of this man or whatever. It's because I fucking worked hard on my own shit.
That is perception, by the way. That you married the billionaire and you have figured out a life and you've chosen it for life down yonder, but overseas.
But yeah, that's because everybody says that. And I'm like, first of all, before I met him, and he's not a billionaire, I need to clear that up. He's not a billionaire. He ain't broke, but I ain't broke either. So I'm not gonna be with a broke dude. You know what I mean? So but he's, before I met him, I was doing work. But because I have him, it helped me do better work because he's a good dude. I'm like really lucky. But beyond that, people who know me intimately, my friends, know that I don't stop working on myself. So I do all do all the things. I do the healing, I do the acupuncture, I do the spinal energetics, I do the Reiki, I do the breath work. I do that's what that's my life. That's who I am for real. Yeah.
You've done the work on you.
I do the work. Yeah.
Nobody has come along and fixed you or healed you.
Nobody can't fix nobody. Period. Anyway, that's just
damn. Somebody I don't know who's watching this right now, but somebody needed to hear that real bad.
Please.
Nobody's coming against you. Nope. You have to do it.
I will say she's right about that, honey. Nobody, if you're looking for a savior, honey, ain't nobody coming to save you, baby. All the saviors are gone. Ain't nobody. You gonna have to save yourself, honey. But I just good for her. I'm happy she's happy. But especially knowing that especially around the 2020 pandemic when people were stuck in, and then a lot of white people were kind of forced to watch George Floyd being killed on TV by the police. And I remember she said she had to have a hard conversation about race with her and her stepdaughters, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. So to find out you was going through all that, and this man is not a billionaire, are you kidding me? Now, if she was a billionaire, I would have been like, okay, girl, I get it. I might have to explain race like a teacher to them too, but
He's only worth 500 million. He's not a billionaire.
500 million, and I'm acting like a teacher to your 4 children. Mm-mm.
Well, those people live in a bubble, Auntie. What do
Yeah.
they know about anything going on in the streets? Nothing. They don't move in those circles. They don't live amongst those I mean, they live in areas where they never encounter probably police, anybody that's not a millionaire. I mean, you have to give them a little grace because when you have as much money as this man obviously does, then you just don't move in those circles. You have no idea. Your school is full of children of billionaires and millionaires. So, what would you know, really?
Touche. Touche. You'll know how to be racist and privileged. But let me stop. Go ahead, favorite
Well,
Taurus.
It has nothing to do with money at all. But this is indicative of being in a multicultural relationship. If people don't navigate the world in a certain way, they have no idea to the nuances that you do, and vice versa. I think it was exacerbated considering um, the issue at hand, but also us from like a westernized perspective, a black westernized perspective. We have close proximity to everything more than we probably even want to. So naturally, we're like, how the fuck do you not know anything about that? But it makes perfect sense, and it's something I've seen in my own waking life. And these people don't have nearly the amount of money, what have you. It's just based upon culture and whiteness as a whole, you know. So it makes perfect sense as to why she had to, and that's part of the it's par for the course when you're in those types of relationships. You're going to have to do that well, it's considered necessary work in that regard so that people can understand your perspective, where exactly you're coming from, you know. So
Yeah.
welcome to what you call it, interracial relationship.
Yeah, I just know, unlike Eve, honey, I'm not gonna be able to do it unless I know, and I need to see on paper that that white motherfucker is a billionaire before I sign over my damn last name to let me stop. But it's I guess I guess I don't think I'll ever see that kind of money in my lifetime. So these are problems I don't think I'll ever have to face. I just wish she was compensated a little bit more. Then well, hey, whatever. Let me stay out of straight people business, especially interracial couples, straight people business.
and then is he even American? I mean, does she live in America? I'm not even. Does she live in the
No,
USA? She lives overseas, right?
She
I
lives
Yeah,
in
she
believe
was in the
so.
UK.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, even their culture is different from being here all the time. So, yeah. But at least she had the hard conversation. I mean, I don't. It is what it is.
Ooh, and they probably did it over some fish and chips. I do like the, you know what, British people, y'all ate that one little thing, honey. Them fish and chips, them shits is to die for.
Those videos of them trying American food, talking about how good it is. I'm like,
Mm.
okay.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Not only did they have the conversation, but the people that she was talking to actually listened and absorbed
Yeah,
the information. That's another part that's incredibly important, because you can still have those conversations, and there's so much cognitive dissonance that the receiver is having. They're going to challenge everything you say. They actually listened and understood, which is far more than the majority of people would be able to do in those situations, from personal experience and people that I know. So you can't really knock people educating themselves further on things you know nothing about. We do it all the time, you know.
yeah, yeah. Well, does anybody want to add anything else about Eve or Maximilian before we go to our last story? Y'all, this last story is one of those girl, I guess stories. Girl. So, do y'all remember we talked not too long ago? I can't remember exactly when. It had to been like not even maybe 2 weeks ago. But Kodak Black was awarded a key to the city. Girl, why he get another one?
Another one from who?
The girl in Florida. So y'all see, I have this hot new hip hop article. Kodak Black receives second key to the city in a matter of weeks in Florida. Oh, honey, that picture. Anyway, Kodak Black adds another accolade to his profile. The city of Miami honored the rap star with the key to the city, his second in weeks. The Miami New Times broke the news on Friday, August 1st. The 28-year-old artist, whose legal name is Bill Kahan Capri, was presented with the key to the city during the July 31st ceremony, recognizing his influence in both music and local community engagement. The latest honor adds to others, such as a pardon by the President of the United States, Donald Trump. The event, held during North Miami's annual youth internship program graduation, was led by acting city manager and development director John Lorfield, a North Miami native. Lorfield presented the symbolic key to Kodak in front of attendees that included city officials, interns, and supporters. The key to the city unlock opportunity, said a city representative. We give you the key as a reminder to return, to invest, to uplift. Kodak, dressed in muted colors, accepted the honor with few words, but later posted a message of appreciation on social media. Thank you, North Miami, for honoring me with the key to the city, he wrote on X, formerly Twitter. I appreciate the acknowledgement and love. During the ceremony, Yak was praised for his philanthropic efforts, including donations of air conditioning units to public housing residents and scholarships for the children of two FBI agents killed in the line of duty. While Kodak's legal troubles continue to spark controversy, civic leaders appear willing to distinguish its recent contributions from his past behavior. His presence at civic events signals a shift in public perception, at least locally. City leaders in North Miami and Pompano Beach have emphasized his positive impact on underserved communities in South Florida, particularly through youth programs and financial assistance. Kodak's recent honors came as he releases new music. His latest track, Still Breathing, a collaboration with Upstates, dropped July 29th. As the rapper continues to navigate both cultural visibility and personal transformation, his growing recognition in public service circles suggests a developing legacy, one that extends beyond music and into the realm of civic engagement. Like I said, it's one of those girl, I guess stories because I don't want to I really love that he's using the influence that he has. He uses the money that he has to give back to his community and actually do things through youth programs and financial assistance and stuff like that. But girl, it's like, oh my God. Not of course it's Florida. And to that he reps his hometown to its fullest. He before that's what so I guess they feel the love and they're trying to give the love to him back. It's just one of those conversations like, when somebody like him who is a convicted rapist, like when they are actually trying to do the work and it's just so difficult. I'm an Aries, so you already know I'm not a forgiving person, but I it's just like, dude, does this send a message? Like I, I feel like we could probably talk about something like this all day, but thank you for your contributions to the community, but damn, like where is this blood money? Like that's where I'm kind of at with it. But and also I don't live in Florida, so I don't think I have a dog in this fight. And we'll never live in Florida. But no shade, Quinn. I love y'all, but go ahead, favorite Taurus.
It's Florida. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. And I really did like that story because we've actually talked about that here when he did donate the air conditionings to his old neighborhood, especially during that when it gets hot, hot, hot down in that Florida heat. So I love that he giving out scholarships. He got youth programs. So I love that. I really love community efforts, but it's just like, damn, bro, that's almost kind of like what if 50 Cent could come to y'all community and decide he want to give back and all that. Like y'all gonna appreciate the work, but damn, my nigga, it's I
Well,
don't know.
here's the thing about the air conditioner. Now, if you can't afford the air conditioner, it's not just the air conditioner. It's being able to afford the bill to run the air conditioner.
Yeah,
A lot of people have air conditioners that they won't turn on because they can't afford to. So that's it's a grand gesture, and I'm sure it's appreciated because air conditioners aren't cheap. Even the window units have gone up, considerably. But running that bad boy costs a lot of money. So, hmm, go ahead, Will.
If 50 Cent ever offered us something like that, I was like, you know, we're good. I got a fan. I'll be quite all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Curtis Jackson, but no, thank you.
Oh, well, there you go.
I think paying their electric bill would be, to me, more helpful. That's as a person who pays bills like that and know what it costs to run AC, and being aware of the cost of those things. Yeah, it's electricity is expensive when you run your AC. I mean, that's just the bottom line. So people's old people, whatever, still die in the heat because they can't afford to run their AC. They have it. That kind of thing happens here.
Yeah, and I heard about y'all Houston heat. So, woo.
Yeah, it's deadly, and you know they they can't afford it. So rather than having their bill turned off altogether because they can't afford to pay it, they just don't run the AC and they suffer in the heat, not realizing that you need to stay well hydrated. Even having a fan, if you're just pushing around hot air, it's not helping really. You don't have the kind of fans like they did back in the old days when people had fans in the ceiling that would pull in air, from outdoors. They don't have those in a lot of homes anymore. So if you don't
Mhm.
have the right circulation going through, then you're just blowing around hot air like a damn convection oven. It doesn't make a difference. So yeah, it's hard.
Yep. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
You brought up a very interesting point. That's part of the story that wasn't talked about. If it did happen, if he worked with the company that runs the electricity for the folks that he was attempting to help,
Hmm.
in order to either uh, their bills discounted or taken care of entirely.
For 3 months, just give them like a 3 month bill pay, a credit or whatever. Yeah, on their behalf, that would be very helpful in addition to providing these air conditionings. So yeah.
But this is also talking about a person that was filmed sitting in the middle of a street eating a chicken leg. So you can only go so far with that.
Well,
He was paying. He was also paying rent in tandem with that
yeah, he
as
did.
well. So yeah.
Yeah, he did. So
Oh,
and
there
that
you
that's
go.
helpful. Paying rent and bills. That's what's up. Well, I think the fact that we witnessed him at his lowest moments, like sitting in the parking lot with whatever. I guess you can say he's not always like that. Maybe he was having a crisis of some type, and obviously there's some things going on with him, but he's still giving back to the community, and we can't have a problem with that at all. So you know,
Right.
we give him some grace
Because he's doing what a lot of people aren't doing. So,
that can afford. The multi-billionaires in this country could do a lot more than what they're doing. A lot more.
well, y'all absolutely right. Well, y'all, that was all the tea that I had for us today. So before we head out,
Leanne
did
got
any
a
of you?
story.
Yes.
I know we didn't touch on it. I knew she had a story.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Libra Queen.
Bitch, why nobody told me Tiffany Haddish and Jason Lee had a baby? Uh,
What?
when did that happen? They got a whole child. They got
Excuse me.
exactly. I'm confusion.
A new
I
baby or older child?
a new baby boy. He looked at the picture they just posted or released is in the media right now. The baby look maybe like 3 or 4 months old, maybe
Oh,
at most 6.
wow.
I when I say I'm confusion, I am dead ass confusion because
Which
when did this crossover happen? Why nobody was talking about it? How
she was up?
she had a whole pregnancy and nobody said nothing. Nobody asked no
No, she
questions,
was
no
up her
nothing.
game. Hmm.
You know,
Okay. Like you ain't
But you
gonna
know,
leave me.
but yeah, I've been over here like, damn, ain't nobody. This not part of the.
Because I didn't know anything about. Well, Hot New Hip Hop looks like they just. I found this. They posted it 53 minutes ago, and we was in the
Okay.
middle of the show. But they confirmed family was girl. And it says they still
Wow.
haven't explained the picture, but they captioned it "cats out of the bag." And let me see if I can go to the picture.
Baby out of the bag.
I think baller alert or something. Rap alert. Baller. One of them look. Oh, that's the
There's
picture.
the
There we go.
baby. Oh my gosh.
Um. Oh. Okay. Well, and I do know that Jason has not been shy because he's open about his bisexuality. So there, I guess I'm not surprised, but I'm just surprised with her. Like, first of all, you were pregnant, or hey, look, mm, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I don't take any of this seriously. Consider they're two stunt queens starved for attention,
You don't
and
believe it?
this poor child is used as a catalyst for them to get an additional couple of minutes of visibility to the general population. So I don't. There is more to the story that they're not telling us intentionally before they could have their story told on a bigger platform to make more money. This shit
Oh,
ain't genuine at all.
okay.
Look, and
Interesting.
quiet as it's kept, if you know what we know about Jason Lee, allegedly, Tiffany Haddish might be too old for him. Mm.
And also not
It's
underage.
yeah. It just it's a weird couple. Like off jump. Okay.
Speaking of which, wasn't there a kerfuffle with Jason Lee allegedly engaging in inappropriate activity with an underage person?
Mm. Allegedly,
Oh,
allegedly.
allegedly. Okay, that's all.
Well, thank you, Quinn, for bringing us that. No, honey, I did not hear about that. See, honey, you just woke me up to that. So, damn, that wow. So, look just like favorite tour said, these are two stunt queens we're dealing with. So,
Big old cup of tea right there.
hmm
Huh.
did anybody have any more tea that I might have missed? Oh, hey, Hammy, my other favorite Libra. Well, y'all, it is always a pleasure. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time if you can make the live show. In the meantime, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
Bye, everybody.